We live, ladies and gents. We live. What's going on? How y'all doing on this good Thursday? I'm sending a link. This is going to be pretty different than what we normally talk about. So, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to come up on the YouTube and talk, you can always do that. I'll send a link. Matter of fact, I'll post a link in the chat. If you're following on YouTube, the link is being posted in the chat. If you want to come up and rap, we will. The other guys, they'll be on a little later. So until then, trying to give it the 2-minute mark. Okay, we 2 minutes in. We 2 minutes. So all right, what's going on, good peoples? This is one of your favorite new hosts, Mr. RBJ. Give me a great big hand. How about it? Thank you. So we was brainstorming yesterday, and I was just saying, how about we talk about something different? We can talk about sports, all that good things, and I mean it's a great topic and it's a wonderful conversation. But one thing we all, and that is mental health. So let's talk about it. Hey everybody on Facebook, I see you. Gigi, I see you. All right, so let's dive right on into it. I wasn't even realizing, I didn't even realize that May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month. I didn't even know that. That just was just a random topic I thought would be good to talk about. So that's just something good in itself. So let's give everybody a hand who actually is going through or have dealt with and beat any mental health issues that they've had. Let's give them a great big hand. Okay, so let's get started. But before we do, I got to do one thing. 1 second. Like I said, I asked that y'all like, comment, subscribe, all them good things. If you go to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're trying to build this platform. This is going to be one of the biggest YouTube platforms that there is. And with that being said, let's go and get started. So what is mental health? The best definition of mental health is that I've seen is it's a person's condition with regard to their psychological and emotional well-being. So basically, it affects the way you perceive things, how you understand just your emotions in general. Everybody has their own battles and things with mental health. So not all mental issues or mental health issues look the same. You have some people who function like nothing wrong, and they can be just depressed and you'll never know it. Then you have some who actually show it. You have people who are manic depressed. Those are the ones, they can be like just real hyper and energetic, and then the next moment they crash and they don't want to do anything. They don't want to go anywhere. So it's just really, like I said, it's just all about how you are as a person. I had never really battled with any mental health issues or anything or like depression. But the most problems I've had was when, as y'all know, me and Keith Wonderboy was pretty much inseparable in a short amount of time, and that was like the most. No, that is the most. That's the most I've ever had. Like any type of like depressing thoughts, any type of anything. Like that was when I pretty much was at a low, and to this day, it kind of it bothers me. I ain't gonna say um it gets me down, but it's just random days. It's just I can be because music is a part of everybody's daily life, so I can just come across something on YouTube or the radio or anything, and his name will pop up. Sometimes I can get like real joyous, and then I have other moments. What up, Josh? Then I have other moments to where I'm like, man, and I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I still like get really, really emotional. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I just shut down. I don't want to be bothered. It's just that's just a part of the grieving process. But as far as like um just a really, really deep depression, I hadn't really experienced that since like the first few moments of his passing. Because I had even said like I didn't even want to do music anymore because he was like one of my main influences. Like I didn't want to I don't want to do nothing. I was just gonna lay in my bed and just soak. What up, Pablo? But yeah, so even now, like when people tend to ask me about him, is I kind of get choked up sometimes it's, or like I said, it's kind of like a balance. Sometimes I can start talking about the good times we had, and then other than that, when I realize, like, man, I want to call him and just tell him, hey man, you remember we did such and such. That's when the reality hit in. And honestly, it really didn't hit until I actually got to his funeral. That's when it all just kind of like, man, he really is gone. And see what makes it worse, and I probably only told like a couple of people this story, is I was working I was working a lot, and he was trying to give me some furniture. He was I don't know, to this day I don't know why, but he had some furniture he was trying to give me. And he was like, yo man, you need to come get the furniture, whatever, whatnot. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get it. And he did this for like pretty much 2 months straight. Like, yo, man, you coming to get the furniture? He would call, I wouldn't answer because I was just working. And it was like, man, do you want it or not? And I pretty much was just shrugging him off. And it wasn't in like a bad way. It's just like, man, I want to talk to him, but I know once we get to talking on the phone, I kind of slow down from what I'm doing. And uh the last time he contacted me, he sent a video of when we had went to a Braves game, and he sent me a video, and I was like, why would he send me that? And he was outside singing or whatever to the guy. He was out playing the guitar or whatever, and that was the last thing he sent me. And and then I just sent back like three laughing emojis. Like, yeah, okay. Um, Never knew that would be the last time I heard from him. So it was, I guess the had to be that day of. I was asleep because I had been working so much. I was drained. Uh, I get to that. I get to that. So yeah. So people was calling me like, "Hey man, have you heard from Keith? Have you, you know?" I was like, "Nah, I've been asleep all day." And so somebody called me, was like, "Hey man, if you talk to Keith, tell him to give me a call." And not thinking that, because when you go to sleep and you wake up, you don't really your mind isn't really processing things like how it normally does. So all I'm thinking is like, why are people calling me looking for Keith? Just call him. And I guess most people know that if anybody else heard, if ain't nobody heard from him, I have. But this time that wasn't the case. I tried to call, couldn't get him, and then I got one phone call, and I ain't gonna say the name, but he said, "Hey man, they say he might be gone." So I was like, "Gone?" So he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Let me call you right back." So I hung the phone up, laid back down, and he called back and was like, "He out of here." I just sat the phone down, I hung up, went right back to sleep. That's part, and I guess that's a part of grief, like being in the now. I went straight back to sleep. So then I woke up and I was like, let me make sure I ain't dreaming. You know, he was gone. So phone kept ringing, and I was like, yeah, it's true. It's true. So not realizing how much of an impact that it made on me, I laid in the bed, cried a little bit, but I tried to hold myself together. So I did, and I posted this clip on Facebook a while back. I had went and helped this a group out at at the showcase in Augusta. I think it was it the Swanee showcase? I think so. And so I know I really shouldn't have been there, but I was like, I need to go because I kind of need the extra little change. So I was like, yeah. And so I played for the group. Everything was fine. And then uh the MC was like, hey man, just stay on stage because we're gonna do a tribute to Keith. I was like, all right, cool. One thinking of it, I walked on stage and I heard, I don't to this day I don't know who it was because I was kind of like I was out. I had done I was like mentally gone. And I heard somebody say, hey, is he okay? Make sure you're all right. Is he gonna be able to play? And I heard, I don't know who said that to this day. Sat there, and then they did, some of the guys came together and did Be Right. And by the time we got to the drive of the song, all I remember is me taking my glasses off, put my hands in my face, and that was it. So after that, they cut the song off. I mean, I boohoo cried. Like I cried. I probably hadn't cried like that since I was a little boy. And man, when I tell you that was an experience. Like if you've never lost anybody close to you, you just thank God, man, because it's tough. It's tough, but I was able to get through, and everybody was checking on, make sure I was good. And like I said, to this day, I still it still bothers me. I can't lie and say it don't, because losing somebody who was pretty much like family, you can't get over that easy. So if you're dealing with any type of grief, people say that it get better over time. It really don't. You can, I mean, the pain kind of eases, but you never really get, especially like I said, if y'all were close, you don't never really get over that person or whoever. So yeah, mental health, you got to stay on top of it. And uh let's see, I wrote down a couple of points. So why don't we talk about it in the black community? For some reason I don't think we talk about it because people feel like we're just supposed to be strong all the time, especially as being a black man. They feel like you ain't really supposed to go through anything. You're just supposed to be some macho robot, and that don't exist. I got emotions, you got emotions, everybody got emotions. Um, no matter country to whatever you might think of a person, they might have a poker face, or they might do this or that, but they feel. Some people just choose not to show it in public. And I understand that, because usually when you show that side of you, some people tend to take advantage of that. But mental health is real, and we as black men especially need to be more in tune to that side. I don't care. Hey, if you got to cry, cry. Because I mean, that's the only way you really gonna feel better at the end of the day. Let that out. If you need to talk to somebody, talking to a friend, it kind of helps. But I personally recommend therapy, because a therapist is going to come from a non-biased point of view, and then they also have faith-based counseling. So if you need somebody to relate to you on a spiritual level, that they can. Um, but yeah, let's see exactly. I was about to say that we are supposed. Yeah, they say they want us to be strong, but at the end of the day, we human. If God didn't want us to have emotions, He wouldn't have put them in us. Some guys they like to go around being all tough and macho. I'll never be that type. I'm not about to be just tough gruel and mean all day long. No, enjoy life. If something bother you, speak on it. If you feel in type of way, yeah, you'd be sad, but on the flip side, don't soak in that as well. So um, I'm talking to every single black person, black man, any person on here. Um, keep your mental up. If you need to talk to me, you can. If you just need somebody to listen to you, I'm available. Uh, if you just anything, I don't even got to say anything. I can just sit there and listen to you talk. If that's all you need, sometimes people just need to vent. So, but then you have some others who are there say, "Well, don't put your problems on me," or "I got my own thing." Everybody got something going on. Everybody in the world has some issue going on. If they tell you they don't, they lying. But sometimes you talking about something and you venting to somebody, with them helping you, they could be helping themselves in the process. So you never honestly really know. Um, so how to overcome? That was really my last point, and I just explained it in one. So yeah, like I said, talk to a counselor, somebody who's qualified to do that, and exercise helps, and just busying yourself. I know some people don't agree with just staying busy because once you have that downtime, it kind of sits with you. But if you can just occupy your mind and do things, something you might enjoy doing, that can kind of ease the pain some. But of course, we are human. You gonna walk down memory lane. I find myself doing that all the time these days, just thinking about good times that I had with people. Sometimes even some of the bad times that turned out to be good. So if you feel like you need to talk, talk. If you feel like you're losing it and you're not really um and you just like kind of at the end of the rope, get help, call somebody, because taking yourself out is not the way to go. That won't fix anything. All you doing is just making it worse on who your loved ones who still here, and don't do that. It's always somebody willing to talk to you. It's even 800 numbers that you can call and you can vent. It's even an app. If you go to your app store, it's an app called Vent, and you can just it's different people in the community, and you can just talk, say whatever you got to do, um, and also eliminate stress. Stress and what did I health teach? I used to say distress. Eliminate as much stress as possible. Um, eliminate stress, negativity, anything that can affect your mental. Always stay on top of that, because if your mental's not good, ain't nothing else gonna go right. Uh, and of course, you can never go wrong with talking to God. He always gonna listen, and he always gonna be there. He might not answer you when you want him to, but I guarantee he's listening, and he cares about you and whatever you got going on. And the thing is, he already know a lot of things. They just test to see how strong and tough your faith are. And let's see, mental health. Mental health is real, coming from someone who deals with anxiety. It's no joke. I may laugh and smile, but deep down inside, people will never know what you're facing, man. And see, I've heard of people having anxiety and panic attacks. I've never dealt with that, and I pray that I never do. But people who deal with that, they say it's like you feel like you're dying. I just thank God, and I'm not bragging or anything. I just thank God that I've never had to deal with that, because some people may have those and can't recover from them. So their means of coping is just trying to end themselves or harming themselves. So to any of y'all dealing with anxiety or you don't think you're good enough, I'm here to tell you, you are. Well, if you want to come up and talk, hit the StreamYard link. But until then, I got my other co-host, and we're gonna let him talk and say whatever he has to say. And welcome to the stage, Mr. Ricky Bobby.
Oh wow. What's up, man? I'm on the game. I'm trying to multitask.
What's going
Trying to
on,
get
man?
right. Man, nothing much. Just running these rec games a little bit. So y'all decide to get on later if y'all are getting on.
So, what's your take on anybody dealing with mental health, or have you had any run-ins with any mental health problems, or just elaborate?
Man, have I boy shit. I think like the past I say year and a half, I've had my run in. Matter of fact, I say more than a year and a half, but I mean recently I've as an adult, well young adult, I started running into more issues like that. Um, it all stemmed down because I mean I'm not afraid to say it. My parents are divorced, but it's crazy because the same time they divorced, my aunt passed away unexpectedly. So it's crazy because that day it's like I seen the divorce papers, all of that, and for me, I honestly any child they would love to see their parents, together, for the longest, for as long as they can hold out. You feel me? And for me, I was big on just seeing my parents happy or whatever. And I understand like they're adults, so stuff happens. But to for 10 minutes to pass by and you get that call like, "Hey man, your aunt done passed away," and honestly, it wasn't even a call. I just found out because a lot of people were screaming and crying in the house. So I go downstairs and it's like, what's going on? They was like, "Yo, it's Aunt Sandra." So immediately I was like, "Oh man, like it's over." It broke my heart like real bad, man. Like I was real close to mine. I got like several aunts, bro, on both sides of my family, and she was the one that I was the closest with. Um, she was a choir director at our church. You know, her and my father were very close. It's like she was like his other mother. So honestly, it really hit home for all of us. And honestly, that was just phase one of depression for me. Getting and then at the time, in 2020, COVID was at its peak, bro. So that was frustrating for everybody. So on top of that, it was just so much was going on. I think I was in my sophomore year of high school. That was in my sophomore year of high school. Just starting out, I was stressed with how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Um, I was trying to figure out if I want to do music or be an athlete. Honestly, I think that was the most stressful thing ever, trying to choose or trying to balance, both out. Like, of course we all think we can do both, but it's like, nah, you got to come to a decision like what you want to do. And honestly, I overthought. I'm an overthinker, bruh. I overthink a lot of things, like everything. So it's like I'm overthinking, doubting, wondering how I'm gonna do this, wondering how I'm gonna do that. A lot of other stuff was going on personally. I don't want to like keep the live log stuff. I'm trying to
No, you
get
good. Just shoot, talk
past
about it. That's what we here for.
but it really and one thing my parents always taught me, both of them, they were like, bro, you gotta have a relationship with God. Now I don't know like half of y'all standpoints on religion or whatever the case is, but it helps, bro. Talking to God, praying, like Rich said, bro. Honestly, I wouldn't be here without it, or the prayers of my family. So that's my fault, y'all. I'm on the gas. So, it's one of the things where if I didn't have a prayer life, bro, I don't know where I would be. Like, it honestly, things started getting much easier when you could pray about it. I had the people I want to talk. I could talk to about it, but it's like it. I think the number one thing in the black community when it comes to talking stuff out, especially with mental health, and as far as men, I feel like some of us have pride. Like we have a lot of pride. We don't want to talk about it. We feel embarrassed, or we feel like we're gonna be judged over it. And that's why some of us don't talk about it. I was one of those people. And I was like, man, I got it. I try to thug it out, handle it myself. But it's like I got to that point where things got worse. And like Trey said last night, when you get by yourself, your mind wanders a lot. Literally, it
Yeah,
wanders a lot.
for real.
So I got to a breaking point late 2020, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna take myself up out of here. I'm tired of it. Crazy thing is, it didn't work. Like, and I done did this, tried it multiple times. You know, I was like, you know what? God has me here for a reason. Obviously, stuff like this is not going well. I'm not going to detail, what I tried to do, but I was like, yeah, I'm here for a reason. There's no way. You feel me? Like, I never told half my parents half of this stuff, honestly, up until like maybe like late last year. It was one of them things where, I just never, I felt like nobody was hearing me out. You feel me? Like it was like too much going on. It was like so much going on in the world. Then people have their personal lives. I felt like the world was literally on my shoulders. And the ways I would try to cope with that was drinking, smoking, like, I wasn't doing no hardcore drugs like, the other stuff, but I was trying to find that thing that listens to me and it don't say nothing back. It's not gonna give me an opinion. And it was one of the things where I got to the point at one point I was like, bruh, once you come off of that high or off of that out of that drunkenness or whatever, bro, you're still at phase one. You ain't solved the problem. Now I don't judge nobody that decides to smoke or drink or whatever, but it's like once you get to that point, bro, it's like that liquor and that weed don't help you like people think it do. It really don't. So it was one of them things where I was like, you know what, bro, nah. Like this is gonna have to start with me. Like, how do I identify the problem? What am I gonna do to make this junk better? And I had to start being positive. Praying, kind of talking to my homeboys about it. Whoever, like, you know, it was one of the things where, like I said, man, if it weren't for that or trying to really figure out what's going on, bro, I would not be here, like at all. And yeah, but to piggyback off of what you said though, I mean I got some homeboys that's like that. They don't. I know what's going on. I don't say it, but it's like I told bro the other day. I was like, man, listen, if you got something going on, tell me, bro. Or if you don't feel like you don't want to tell me, okay, bro, just tell me like hey man, I ain't. It's not the best right now. Just pray for me, whatever, bro. I always pray for most of my homeboys all the time. Like, cause I never know what people go through, bro. Especially as musicians, bro. Most musicians out here, we really get classified as the most terrible human beings ever. Like, and it's pressure. It's always pressure, and well, in any aspect of life. So it's like, you know, it's like we feel like we don't have nobody to talk to outside of stuff like that. We be so worried about perfecting ourselves. Most of us really, and being real with you, we don't try to work on ourselves outside of stuff like that. We always try to master being a musician. What about being a human, bruh? Having feelings. Like, it's okay to, feel or, have an emotion. Like you said, bruh, it's no need trying to be tough, bruh. No need. Like, it's really no need for stuff like that. And, yeah, bruh, it's just a lot. It's a lot I really could say, but I'm trying to play the game and talk on this live. So I'm kind of trying to, yeah. But
Yeah, I got
yeah,
yes.
man, it's pride. Pride is really like a number one thing though in the black community when it comes to stuff like that. It's a lot of pride, and also I can't lie. I'm switching. Oops.
But
Are we
yeah,
switching this 2-3?
so the thing is like, and like
My
you said,
bad.
most people won't talk about it just because the simple fact of I feel like I'm gonna be judged or I just
Yeah,
feel like I'm tough. But nah, man, that's the all you doing is just holding it in, and it's like
it's
anything
building
else.
up.
Yeah, it's like pressure. You build up a lot of pressure. Eventually, it's gonna explode, and that's the same way
Like,
how your mental health is. Like people have heart attacks, strokes, brain aneurysms, all that just because they mental not there.
cause
They stressing
I
and
used
worry
to
about what
hear,
the next person gonna say. Like
I used to hear all the time in church, stress is like the number one killer. Now I know they say it in church, but honestly, outside of church, stress is really like a number one killer, bro. Like
it
it
is.
beats all these mass murders, all these mass shootings, bro. Like a lot of folk are stressed, bro. While some of these folks be blowing their brains out, all that crazy mess, Bro, it's because of stress. Niggas don't have nobody to talk to for real. Niggas be smiling all day. Matter of fact, I was in a call talking to my homeboys, and it was like, man, look at half of these millionaires out here killing themselves, overdosing. Like, nigga, that money don't matter. If your mind ain't right and you ain't really happy within yourself, bro, that money don't mean nothing.
It don't. It really don't.
It doesn't mean anything, bro. I'd rather sit here and be broke and happy, which I'd never be that, but I'd rather sit here and be broke and happy than freaking rich and stressed out, about to go crazy. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know if I'm coming or going, bro. I don't want that. Like,
And that's why I like when Kwame, when he I got to bring him back. He always say, "Man, I ain't no celebrity. Don't treat me like no celebrity because you ain't gonna get a celebrity reaction." Because he said he knows how celebrities are. They worried. He's pretty much it's all a facade. What you see ain't what it really is. They just a lot of times they're being paid to be the person that they are. That's not really, they ain't being their authentic selves.
yeah,
So you can have all that money and still be just as miserable.
miserable, bro. Now, granted, listen, it's okay to be happy and rich now. We ain't saying that, but you know, it's one of them things where I'd rather sit here and be kind of. I'd rather be broken happy, bro, because that stress, bro. Stress. Let me tell you something. I done have my bouts with anxiety. It's no joke. They ain't lying. I've never honestly had any anxiety issues until like the past year. And man, when I tell you, it feels like whoever said that, bro. It feels like you're dying. You can't
Yeah.
breathe. Like your thoughts all scrambled, bro. That junk is no joke. But how I coped with it is being positive, praying, bro. Like talking about stuff, bro, and just keeping a clear mind, bro. You keep a clear mind, you straight. I promise you. Clear
What
your
up, Trey?
mind.
Nah, Trey just popped up in the comments.
Oh, it's good, Trey. Like, bro, you keep a clear mind, bro. You good. Like, it's one of them things where, bro, like I said, anxiety is no joke. Stress is no joke. All that stuff you name, bro, is no joke. But heavy on the anxiety part. I promise you. That anxiety mess, man, it'll scare you. For real, for real. Like, I ain't even gonna cap that junk. Honestly, talk about God. Closer to God, bro. Oh, yeah, definitely. I had that. I had that moment. Like, I promise you I did. So,
And it's really hard for like friends, like boys, to talk about it. Like, well, men, however you want to be, males, I say that, to talk about it amongst their peers because they feel like we supposed to just be laughing, joking, having fun all day, and that's not reality. That
yep.
that is not real, bro. If something bothers you, talk about it. And if you got a circle, a group of friends to where you feel like they gonna clown you for picking at and pick at you for like saying you need to talk or you being emotional about something
Don't
at a
take your
particular
homeboys
time,
then if you feel like that.
no, they supposed to. Real homeboys gonna help you. They gonna be like, all right, so how can we beat this? What can we do? How can we make this better?
All right.
That's what real home is supposed to do.
Yep.
And
Shout
if you
out
don't
to
got those
all
people
my
in your
homies
circle, if
that
you don't
that
got
did.
those people in your circle, you need to cut them off or go
Yeah.
find some.
Go find you some, or find a
Yeah.
specialist. Somebody pay them. Hey, that. I mean, they get. I mean, you can't ever say too much. They're paid to listen to you. Promise you.
Right, right. They let you cuss, do everything you want to do.
You wanna go freaking rip a pillow in the half, bro? Go ahead, bro. You might have to pay for it, but you know, it's one of them things where I'd rather sit here and listen to someone talk to me about their problems. I don't care if it's for 10 hours. I'd rather listen to that than sit at a 2 hour funeral because you done offed yourself.
Exactly.
I'm
Talk.
good on that.
If you need to talk, talk about it.
Like, I don't care if I don't know you, bro. Like, listen, I'd rather see you, tell me, and I could try to help you or just offer a listening ear. Sometimes I ain't gotta say nothing. I could just hear you out.
Right.
But I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather hear you out than hear somebody doing your eulogy, bro. That's not it's not worth it. It's so much more to life, bro.
I'm with that
So
100% any day of the
it's so
week.
much more to life.
Yeah. If you got to
I
talk,
think it
talk.
won't worth it. Like, I promise you, I just think it won't worth it at all, bro. But once I really realized, bro, it's so much more to life to be happy about and just whatever, bro. Trust me, man. And if you got kids, bro, think about your kids. Think about how it affect. Let me tell you something, bro. It costs about $0 to kill yourself, honestly. You could walk off a bridge right now. But do you not know how much money it is to plan a funeral? How much your family's gonna suffer? Like all of that. Like, bruh, honestly, that could offset so much things in your family just by doing that. Like let's say you're the only child. Okay, generations done. Like, the circle of the family's broken. Like, you don't want that, bruh. You don't want that at all. That stuff is not worth it, man. I promise you, it's not. Dude is going off. But you know, it's sad though, because it's a lot of especially like around my age bracket, they're kind of checking up out of here with suicide. Like, it's sad. It's sad as crap. Like, if I could, bro, I wish I could tell folks, like, bro, it's really worth living, bro. Just like I always had to think about it like this. It's somebody that's in a worse freaking case scenario than I am. I'm thinking life is hard, but I ain't been across overseas where kids is literally having to sleep outside every night. They don't have food, all that type of stuff. I'm thinking over this little petty thing is not worth living over. But they sitting up here keeping a smile on their face.
Man, and people don't realize that, man. Like, matter of fact, I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, bro, you might think, and it's just because you just because you're going through, but it's somebody going through something way worse than you can even imagine.
Wishing.
Yeah. So you honestly, your situation is lightweight, and they'll trade with you in a heartbeat just
Oh,
because they'll be
okay.
like, oh man, this ain't nothing. I can deal with this. So you worrying about, I done lost my car, I done lost this and that, and they probably in the hospital bed, might not even have long left to live. So you got to be just put, and then I get it. It's normally easier said than done. Um, so that's why you always need to check in with your friends, whatever you got.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, check in with your spouse, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Just keep the communication because it's important. And the National Institute of Mental Health has these tips for how can I take care of my mental health. They say self-care means taking the time to do the things that
hmm
help you live well and improve your both physical and mental health. This can help you manage stress, lower your risk of illness, and increase your energy. Even small acts of self-care in your daily life can have an impact. Here are some
Yep.
healthcare tips. Get regular exercise. Just 30 minutes of walking each day can boost your mood and improve your health. Small amounts of exercise add up. So don't be discouraged if you can't do 30 minutes at one time. Eat healthy, regular meals and stay hydrated. A balanced diet and plenty of water can improve your energy and focus throughout the day. Pay attention to your intake of caffeine and alcohol and how they affect your mood and well-being. For some, decreasing caffeine and alcohol consumption can be helpful. Because alcohol is, as we know, a depressant. Make sleep a priority. Stick to a schedule. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. A blue light from devices and screens can make it harder to fall asleep. So reduce blue light exposure from your phone or your computer before bedtime. Try relaxing activity. Explore relaxation and wellness programs or apps which may incorporate meditation, muscle relaxation, or breathing exercises. Schedule regular times for these and other health activities you enjoy, such as listening to music, reading, spending time in nature, and engaging in low stress hobbies. Set goals and priorities. Decide what must get done now and what can wait. That's so big to me right now. Decide what must get done right now and what can wait. Learn to say no to new tasks if you feel like you're taking on too much. Try
Yep.
to appreciate what you have accomplished at the end of the day. Um, Three more points. They say practice gratitude. Remind yourself daily of things you are grateful for. Be specific. Write them down or replay them in your mind. Focus on positivity. We talk about it all the time, being optimistic. Sounds of Blackness got the song called Be Optimistic. Identify and challenge your negative and unhopeful thoughts. And the last point they have is stay connected. Reach out to friends or family members who can provide emotional. We were just saying that emotional and practical support and help. Self care looks different for everyone, and it is important to find what you need and enjoy. it may take a trial and error to discover what works best for you. Some people getting tattoos help. They call it tattoo therapy. Just going out to eat, getting a massage, getting anything, getting your feet nails done. That can be therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all depending on what you find relaxing. So can't nobody, I mean, people can make suggestions, but can't nobody know what's best for you like you. So you have to do what fits for you. If going to church makes you happy, do it. If going to a concert, if you like going to concerts, do that. Whatever it takes for you to keep yourself sane, booking a flight, anything you have to do to keep you, because life is all about preservation, and we are supposed to self-preservate. Like whatever we have to do to stay here, to keep ourselves here as long as possible, that's what we're supposed to do. So if you have to do those for your mind just to get you in the right mental space, go for it. And if people judge you, guess what? If they lost.
They lost, bro.
Yep. So mental health looks different in everybody. Sometimes it's just good to check and ask people how they doing. Don't have any motives. Just even a simple text or anything, just a phone call. You never know what that can do to somebody. How it can affect their day. Sometimes I do that a lot. I just text somebody who I know I hadn't talked to in months or maybe even a year or so. I'll just be like, hey, what's going on? Just checking on you, make sure everything good. And they be like, wow, thanks. I really appreciate that. Small gestures go a long way. And they usually go further than like the bigger things that you do. Because it's the little things that really count at the end of the day. So like I said, if you're dealing with any problems, find somebody you trust who you can confide in. If you don't feel like you can, find you a therapist or a pastor, somebody in your local community who you can talk to, and they won't tell anybody. And like I said, the number one option is to tell Jesus, because he ain't gonna tell nobody, and he gonna make it all right.
Ain't gonna tell none of your business, bro.
He ain't gonna tell it to nobody. Trust me. So this was pretty much a short one for today. Like I want y'all to realize that we are kind of we're versatile in topics. We don't just talk sports. We can talk everything, real life, just all type of things. So you never know what you're gonna get. So, you got any closing statements that you want to give?
Well, it costs $0 to be a good person. I'll say that. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a fact. It costs nothing.
No, go make somebody smile, bro. No, make sure y'all make somebody smile before the week is over. Be a good person. Be positive. Spread the positivity, bro. In that order. Like,
I agree. Matter of fact, I got to give you this. That's why I know y'all. A lot of people see stuff on my page and be like, "Man, this boy always cracking jokes," and that's because somebody needs that. I get countless amounts of inboxes about, "Man, you don't realize how much you made my day." I don't do that to get paid or try to make a living. I do it because I know I might touch somebody. Mm-hmm. And as long as I've done that, I know I've done my job. So, with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. Peace. We will come back. We'll probably be back on a little later on tonight.
Yeah, y'all might see some 2K tonight.
I'm probably to get on the game now. Okay. All right, y'all. Pretty good conversation topic. Whatever you might have for us, you want to talk about, you can always inbox. You can send me topics. You can send Trayshawn topics. You can send Lennox. You can send him topics, and we'll talk about it. We ain't the type that just think we got to do one thing just one way. We're gonna do the best we can. So that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We will be back soon.